Danyu hadn't cut his hair in more than 10 years. Any touch to his hair made his chili spring to attention. As a kid, Danyu was a curly-haired cutie who bawled non-stop at the bar, so he played with other kids wearing a messy mop. At school, his weird hair got him ostracized. His mom forced him to get a cut, but stopped when Danyu fought it hard. As he grew up, Danyu realized hair touches felt just like touching his chili, so he never went to a salon again. His DI cuts looked even weirder, so he had no friends and no close classmates. Then his mom started a new family and Danyu moved out on his own. He had to work to survive, but his look was a problem. He finally found a back-of-house job where he didn't have to show his face. Customers still complained that he looked scary. His boss was good and even paid big to help Danyu fix his image. To keep his job, Danyu decided to face why he hadn't cut his hair for years. He figured maybe his sensitivity had settled down. He forced himself to pick a super quiet little salon. The moment he sat in front of the mirror, he regretted it. He couldn't bolt, and the owner was stupid handsome. He gritted his teeth and told Chuoni to go for it. The owner got stumped by that frizzy little mop. How do you cut it, cute? The instant the owner's hand touched his hair, Danyu fell apart. Watching him curl up then act like he was marching to die, the owner was amused. He even massaged Danyu's shoulders to help him relax. Danyu forced himself to calm down. A few minutes and it was handled. To lighten the mood, the owner chatted while cutting. He said Danyu was pretty interesting. He told him to book ahead next time, watching Danyu drenched in sweat and shaking. The owner said to speak up if anything felt off so he wouldn't get hurt. Danyu wasn't in pain. It just felt too good when those big hands touched his hair. So they finished before he lost control. The owner asked if he liked the cut. Danyu was stunned. Was that pretty boy in the mirror him? The whole world snapped into focus. Then he saw in the mirror his chili had snuck out, bigger. Mortified, Danyu tucked his chili away and bolted. Watching him flee, the owner laughed. This client was even funnier than he thought. His hair was so sensitive, a touch made the chili shoot up, so he never dared get a haircut. Work forced him to cut it. He chose the most discreet little shop, and the owner was absurdly handsome. Getting serviced by such a handsome Tuoni, his chili went wild. Danyu stuffed his chili away and sprinted home. At home, Danyu gave the big chili a full stir-fry. Then he realized a huge problem. He basically dined it and dashed on the haircut, didn't pay, and even wore home the shop's cape. He left his clothes and bag there too. So embarrassing. Next day in the shop, the owner almost didn't recognize him. Who's this little heartthrob? Danyu looked amazing with the new cut. He got shy and froze. Suddenly someone grabbed him from behind, hugging him and rubbing his hair hard. Danyu shook all over and almost lost it. The guy realized he had the wrong person, let go and apologized over and over. Danyu didn't say a word, pulled on his cap, and hid in his kitchen. On break, he hid somewhere empty to recharge. A milkshake appeared. It was Yuli, the guy who mistook him coming to apologize, saying his back looked like his friend's. Why the sudden haircut? Was it the heat? Danyu blushed bright red. He said the owner asked him to watch his image, so he tidied up a bit. Summy Yuli even stood up for Danyu. Teasing boss, you're really like that. Everyone cracked up. Yuli chatted warmly, learned the baby face Danyu was older, and started calling him Danyu. Yuli said, Danyu, just call me by my name. Danyu was thrilled. It was his first time chatting over drinks with a coworker. The good mood lasted after work, until he reached the salon. Danyu deflated. He had to pay and return the cape. What if they call the cops? He mustered up and pushed in. The quiet shop seemed empty, except his clothes on the counter. He looked around and whispered, anyone here? If not, I'm grabbing my clothes. Just as he reached out, a loud clang inside made Danyu jump. He called out, sorry, I'm here to pay. He looked up and froze at the scene in the little booth. What was that? The handsome Tuoni had caught his secret. Danyu fled home and realized he forgot to pay. When he returned with cash, he walked in on Tuoni and a mystery man. He planned to drop the money and ghost, but the owner called out from the booth. Danyu fumbled, I'm just here to pay. The mystery man rushed out. As he put on the mask, Danyu thought he looked familiar. The owner came out too and happily thanked Danyu for helping him dodge trouble. Danyu was confused. Dodge trouble? Wasn't that someone you knew? I thought I ruined your good time. The owner said the guy was a stalker. Danyu panicked and offered to call the police. But the owner just laughed. Lately there's a lot worth calling the cops about. Danyu and Crimson paid up and returned the cape. Secretly glad the owner probably didn't notice his mess yesterday. Then a big hand stroked his hair. The owner kneaded it and said, your hair grows fast, want it a bit shorter. That day it looked like Danyu's chili did a quick stir fry, so I wrapped it fast and left it a bit long. Danyu felt struck by lightning, dying of embarrassment. The owner soothed him, don't worry. I mean no harm. I just find you interesting, Mr. Danyu. He handed Danyu a card call to book next time. Anytime. I'll be waiting. Next day at work, Danyu was still stuck on yesterday's humiliation. That owner's definitely a creep. I'm never going back. Getting ready for the night shift, Danyu saw a TV interview while taking out the trash, and realized the mystery stalker was a celebrity. Are stars really that wild now? Lost in thought, he bumped into a coworker. The coworker stared in alarm and reached for Danyu's hair. Danyu panicked and froze. Yuli yanked him back. Hey, what are you doing, punk? The coworker pointed at Danyu's hair and said, there's gum stuck in it. Yu Li tried to help. Dan Yu dodged and insisted he'd handle it. He went at it like a pro and made it worse. Gum everywhere. Now what? Cut at home and look weird again, or go to a salon and get hauled off as a perv. Out of options, Dan Yu pulled out the card and then called the Chuoni who already knew his secret. A Lanzang's people's secret got exposed by a Chuoni. Dan Yu thought he'd never see him again, but thanks to a wad of gum, he had to face that handsome Chuoni once more. Sitting in the chair, Dan Yu was so embarrassed he could curl his toes through the floor. The handsome owner couldn't stop laughing, saying Dan Yu really did get gum stuck. Thanks to you, fun stuff keeps happening lately. Thank you, Mr. Dan Yu. Dan Yu blushed and tried to apologize to the owner for the chili, the dine and dash haircut, while wearing home arcade. Dan Yu, red as a boiled crab, said all of it. I had no face to come back, but I had no choice. The owner said it was fine and gently asked, "You don't look like a creep. Is it a physical thing?" Dan Yu covered his face and explained, "I've been like this since I was a kid. It's gotten harder to control with age. Sorry if I burned your eyes." The owner was empathetic. No need to apologize. Everyone has secrets. You just show yours physically. Let me take good care of you, Mr. Dan Yu, with no girlfriend and no friends. The owner put the cape on again and patiently worked the sticky gum, watching him tremble nonstop. As Dan Yu fought to keep his chili from growing, the owner found it too amusing and got a naughty urge to tease this cute client. He picked up the clipper and said to Dan Yu, "Let's try this. If it's too much, tell me." The vibrating clipper touched his hair, and a fountain show almost happened. The owner knew the chili was ripe and needed a stir-fry. He offered to help. Knave Dan Yu didn't expect that help to be so hands-on. Literally. Dan Yu had been single since birth for Arsan years. Never seen anything like this. The owner grinned at his reactions. One firm head rub and Dan Yu surrendered on the spot. With ultra-sensitive hair and a mischievous stylist, Dan Yu reacted hard under his hands. Then crashed into a half daze after the burst. When he opened his eyes, he thought he must have dreamed. The time felt unreal. His cut in the mirror looked razor sharp again. And his chili was out strolling. Dan Yu's eyes blew wide. Yanked up his pants, packed the chili, stripped the KP. Left the most. With the scene cleared, Chuoni sighed. "I'm not a demon. Am I that scary?" He glanced at the leftovers, then at his big hands, replaying that special feel, and felt like a real creep for going that far with that pure little client. Dan Yu sprinted home and slept till noon. He only believed it wasn't a dream when he saw his haircut in the mirror. After mourning his dignity, he wondered if, with this cut, he could change a little. Maybe make friends and live normal. Then he lost his nerve. Forget friends, not being bullied is enough. Before, his look got him stuck with lousy jobs, no tips, and bullying. Now his boss is kind and coworkers don't bully him, so he wants to stay. That led him to the handsome Chuoni. His secret got exposed, yet Chuoni didn't think he was a creep. He comforted him and eased the pain. Dan Yu got seen completely, and this Chuoni seemed a bit special. A secret bottled for overarching years spun out of control after meeting a handsome stylist. First meeting, chili got big and exposed. Second, he blew up Chuoni and the mystery guy's fun. Third, Chuoni personally helped stir-fry the big chili. No face left to show, Dan Yu cut off the thoughts. He was running late. Not used to life without long hair to hide behind, he threw on a cap and rushed to work. As soon as he walked in, a coworker came over. Excited, I found a way to get gum out. Seeing his cap, they worried his hair was ruined. Dan Yu shyly took it off. Sharp, short hair. Everyone agreed he looked better and wanted the same cut. As they started work, Yu Li called out, asking for Dan Yu's number. He said shyly he wanted to send Dan Yu the gum removal link yesterday. He didn't have his contact. Let's add it now. After swapping numbers, Dan Yu felt like a little rabbit jumping. His first coworker contact ever. Yu Li, blushing, told him to reach out anytime. Dan Yu felt so happy. Does this mean he made a good friend? He smiled, shy and satisfied, and told Yu Li to hit him up anytime too. Yu Li felt a little deer crash in his chest. Whoa. What's happening? It was just a phone number, so why was he this happy? Blushing and heart racing. After work, Dan Yu saw a text from Yu Li and was over the moon. His contacts finally had someone. He even stopped wearing a hat. He hummed a tune, relaxed and confident. In the crowd, he wasn't the odd one out anymore. He'd become just an ordinary guy. Only thing, his outfit was kinda tacky. Since middle school, he barely bought clothes. Time to switch things up. Billionaire CEO had zero interest in inheriting the family business. Every job bored him fast. Same with lovers. Once things were over, he acted like he didn't know them. Nothing felt meaningful. In the end, he ignored his family and opened a tiny salon. Making people look good is what I'm into. At first it was fun. Friends even sent him to style a bunch of rookie idols. After one member blew up, he lost interest again. Back to a dull routine. One day, a little furball sneaked into the shop. He was in a foul mood and wasn't planning to take clients. Looked closer. Great proportions. Nice features. Fixing that hair would be so satisfying. During the cut, he found the kid's hair was crazy sensitive. The chili kept popping up. Most people would call the cops on a little perv like that. But Quan Zihan found it intriguing. He teased him on purpose and offered to help Dan Yu with his problem. Watching Dan Yu stand at attention and react, Quan Zihan got hooked. Longing on the cow, she actually looked forward to seeing Dan Yu again. He'd never been hung up on anyone before, so he went out for a walk to clear his head. Right outside the mall, he spotted a sneaky figure. What are the odds? Crazy coincidence. He hurried over and said hi to Dan Yu. Dan Yu was dying inside. This was mortifying. First time shopping in over 20 years, and he runs into the one guy who knows his embarrassing secret. The very guy he swore never to see again. He blushed bright red and forced a, "Hi, boss." Quan Zihan stopped laughing. He said, "Outside, just use my name." "Great to see you, Mr. Dan Yu. Funny enough, I was just thinking about you." And boom, you show up. Guess we're meant to meet. Shopping. Let's go in. I'll pick some outfits for you. He pushed Dan Yu into a clothing store. "I'll help you pick. More like I'll cop a feel." "Ha, you're one wicked handsome guy." As Dan Yu hesitated, a cap landed on his head. He used the chance to fix his hair, making Dan Yu blush hard. He picked a few outfits for Dan Yu to try. Dan Yu stepped out of the fitting room and stunned the clerk. And Quan Zihan even more. Amazing proportions. The clothes fit him perfectly. With this style, slick your hair back. It'll look better. Pull the sides back too. That should work. He said it while fixing Dan Yu's hair. With his hair that sensitive, Dan Yu almost embarrassed himself in public. He thought, this guy knows my secret and still keeps touching me. It had to be on purpose. Then he looked up at the handsome stylist's sincere eyes. Fine, it's my problem. He rushed back into the fitting room. He looked down at that dim chili popping out again. Kill me now. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. Dan Yu was about to lock it when Quan Zihan smiled and walked in. Knew it. Dan Yu, you can't go out like this. Let me help you one more time, Dan Yu. The CEO fell for a cute little perv. A day without him drove him nuts. He went out to clear his head and ran into the cutie. He was letting him slip. He flirted till the guy was bright red. The cutie fled to the fitting room, but couldn't escape the CEO's claws. He forced his way in, insisting on fixing the cutie's big problem. The cutie had been single his whole life. He'd never met a handsome horned dog like this, and before he knew it, he was stripped bare. Only after being pounced on did the lily snap back to his sense, struggled, and said he could handle it himself. Really didn't need help. The CEO cracked up and told him to hurry up, or the clerk would walk in. The cutie turned pitiful fast, trembling in the corner. What a mess. Am I actually awake, not dreaming? The CEO couldn't watch anymore and moved in again to help. He worked with his hands while whispering his ear, "Finish up so we can get out." He went straight for the cutie's weak spots. The cutie squirmed, then realized he'd bumped into something. The CEO's little brother wanted in on the action. The cutie went pale. Finally, thanks to the CEO's pro-level moves, both of their big problems were handled. The cutie saw his new clothes were stained and broke down again. I can't afford this. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? The CEO waved it off. No biggie. I got it. It's on me anyway. The cutie got dressed and shuffled out, following the CEO to the mall entrance. He was so embarrassed he wanted to disappear. The CEO sweetly called him a ride. He gifted the clothes to the cutie and, reluctant to part, said, "Last time I cut your hair a bit short. When can we see each other again?" Shy. The cutie said his hair grows fast. Maybe we'll meet again soon. Only then did the CEO let him go satisfied. In the car, Frankie Shaoqi felt dirty. He wasn't clean anymore. He really wanted to see the handsome stylist. What should he do? His hair was so sensitive that a touch made the chili sprout, so he avoided salons for over 20 years. Forced to get a cut, he met a handsome stylist. The first meeting, the chili went wild. Second time, he ruined the stylist's good time. Third time, the handsome stylist helped him handle the chili hot and fast. Fourth time, they went straight into a dressing room play. Danny felt too ashamed to see the stylist again. But what was he supposed to do about this wildly growing hair? He sat outside the shop, sighing, came over to check on him. "Hey, what's wrong today?" At work, your face kept flushing then paling, and you seemed spaced out. Dan, you embarrassed, said, "It's nothing big. I just hate going to salons, but my hair grows fast. If I want to look neat, I need to go often, so I've been torn." Yuli pulled out his phone and showed Dan Yu his childhood photos. "I hated salons too. I used to have tight curls and got teased a lot. Then I stopped caring. Now I just get quick trims and it's fine. Everyone's got their own style. Yours is this. Don't stress about what people think." He handed Dan Yu a headband. "Try this when it gets messy." First time wearing it, Dan Yu made his hair messier. Yuli offered to help. Not wanting to lose Yuli as a friend, Dan Yu held his breath and barely kept the chili under control. Yuli was mesmerized by Dan Yu's pretty forehead. He suddenly remembered he hadn't washed the headband. Might have a smell. He reached to take it off, and Dan Yu slapped his hand away. As they were cringing, the boss called them back to work. Dan Yu feared he'd lose Yuli as a friend. After work, he was so upset he missed everyone greeting him. Dan Yu didn't want to go back to having no friends. He wanted to change, but only one person knew his secret, and only he could help. He went home and spent 2 hours psyching himself up. Then he texted the stylist. "Boss, can I come by tomorrow?" The boss replied in seconds, "See you tomorrow, Dan Yu." The cutie was over the moon, already excited for the next meet. Who knows what play they'll do next? With his hair growing like crazy, Dan Yu worked up the nerve to find the stylist. He psyched himself up outside forever and still couldn't walk in. But then the stylist pushed the door open from inside. Dan Yu was so startled his hair calmed down. Dan Yu explained what he needed to the stylist. "No special requests. Just make the hair less attention-grabbing. I thought it through. Only you can help me. Please." He looked at the boss, shy but hopeful. The boss's face looked odd. After a beat, he said, "If I help you, what are you going to do for me?" Dan Yu wanted to crawl under a rock. So embarrassing. Why did he assume the boss should help him? "What do I do? I'll pay you, whatever it takes." Seeing Dan Yu flustered, the boss couldn't hold back. He burst out laughing. "Kidding. You're fascinating. I'll help." But if we keep touching your hair, what if it stops responding later? Maybe we should find other sensitive zones, so the hair sensitivity might get spread out. Daniel was totally baffled. How could the boss say that with such a straight face? He couldn't tell if it was a joke. Daniel, besides your hair, do you know any other spots? I did find a new spot lately. He took Daniel's hand and pulled him out. He pinched his nipples, then stroked Daniel's hair. See, it's already less focused. Daniel thought it felt weird, but it did seem to help. He had no one else to ask, so Daniel made up his mind to let the boss try finding other sensitive zones. The boss lit up and gave Daniel the full wash, cut, blow dry. Then he sat on the bar stool and waved Daniel over. He had Daniel sit right in front of him. Daniel, open up. Let's check what's going on in that mouth.